direct action combat performance. What we'll show you here is a practice that you can practice at home for dry fire iteration using a pistol of choice. So for today, the 9mm pistol that I'm using is a hybrid between a Zev Technology slide and a frame made by Glock. It's a Glock 17 Gen 4. The practice that I've got set up for today is a series of tap rack. So tap rack would be the cause of failure to fire. So in the event that you press the gun out on a live fire range, you attempt to break the shot, but the gun goes click instead of bang. So you've got a live trigger, but the gun doesn't do what it is that you wanted it to do. Normally that's an indicator of faulty ammunition. Sometimes it could be the cause because of a dirty gun or a faulty mainspring. There are factors that would cause a failure to fire. Normally it's due to faulty ammunition. So when you set up your practice, ensure that you go through your magazines and your dummy rounds and ensure that you're not inadvertently loading up a live round. Yeah, it sounds a little bit novice, but trust me, it happens if you're mixing natures from live fire to dummy. All right, so what I have here is a series of weighted dummy rounds and then a little bit lighter compound with an orange tip. All right, so these dummy rounds I've gone through, ensure that the practice will be safe, deliberate, and we're gonna have some fun. All right, so what we have the clock set up on is a delay between 1.5 seconds and 4 seconds. What that means is once I press the button, I have between 1.5 and 4 seconds before the buzzer will go off. That initial buzzer will get me up and moving. So once we get up and moving, the second buzzer, which I have set up, is called a part time. That part time is set up for 2 seconds. So the idea behind that is, what I want to do is press the gun out, press the trigger, the gun is going to go click. I want to react to the gun, so tap rack, but I also want to transition to a different target of choice. So what we have on the wall here is a mixture of stuff that you would see on the range. So this is a miniature cutout of a falling popper, and then there's a miniature cutout of an IDPA target, and then another popper to the right, and then the top right-hand corner would be just a round circle indicating maybe a steel target. All right, use whatever you can as a reference point. Just give you something to focus on while you're going through your dry fire practice. All right, so this this drill, as we go through it, the idea, the practice is about manipulating the gun, but also transitioning my eyes and manipulating the trigger at the same time. So what I'm trying to achieve is in under 2 seconds, a tap rack, and then transitioning to a secondary target, allowing that front sight to become focused as we break the shot. All right, so this is how the drill looks. I'm gonna load and ready, and then react to the buzzer and react to the gun. All right, so a nice relax. So what you probably notice on that particular iteration is I met the time, but the front sight clarity did not fall on that second target. All right. So what that tells me is in the transition between the tap rack and allowing my eyes divert to the secondary target, I need to be a little bit more efficient with the gun movement. So what happened is the gun went past the secondary target, and then I had to bring it back before breaking that shot. All right. So once again. So in that particular case, when I attempted to rack the action, my fingers slipped onto the slide a little bit, and I had to retract the grip in order to manipulate the slide. All right. So be aggressive with the gun, push the gun, but also understand that the desire here is to move from one target to the second while we manipulate the gun. All right. Also, what you'll notice is, once the gun leaves the holster, there's a zone here. This what I refer to as the action zone. So the attempt is to get the gun, the muzzle cleared out of the holster, and then press the gun out with both hands. As we press the gun out, we're manipulating the trigger, so we're prepping the trigger in this action zone. All right. So as we prep the trigger, and then we get the gun into the high ready or the threat ready position, you're actually in a position to pull the trigger in the event that that's what you want to do. All right, so in this zone here, what I refer to as the action zone, this is where I need to be a little bit quicker on the trigger, taking up as much slack in that trigger as possible, but not breaking the shot until the front sight is actually focused on that indicated target of choice. Okay, so once again, we'll go through it a couple times. So once again, good for time. So the gun was in the proximity of the secondary target. However, that secondary target, the front sight focus wasn't there, which meant I needed to take a little bit more time if I wanted to break that shot. All right. So we'll do it a couple more times. So once again, the time was there, but I overshot. The gun actually overshot the secondary target of choice. So what I want to do to prevent that from happening is allow the eyes to divert to that secondary target. So the eyes will be there first as we prep the trigger. So as we're prepping the trigger from point A to point B, the eyes indicated and set onto that target of choice is what's going to help speed that process up. Once again. So there's one practice you can try at home, guys. Tap rack, transitioning between two small targets. All right, so relatively close in proximity, but the idea is to manipulate the trigger, manipulate the gun, and then have that front sight focus settle down on that target of choice. Try it out at home. Log into the Direct Action YouTube channel. There's lots of videos. I'll continue to keep pumping out some information for you guys. Hopefully you enjoy it, and if you don't, tell somebody else.